everybody, Kathy Tooley, CEO, Tools for Success. Thanks for joining us again today as we talk about the solutions to curtain number 4, the roles of administrators are confusing. If you watched the video before, what we talked about is administrators really have 2 very strong roles. They are managers. It's their job to manage their building, make sure that bells ring and kids are safe and that the building happens, that there's a hum and a buzz to it, and that all the things that are necessary. There's books, there are teachers. It'd be really bad if your kids showed up and there were no teacher. Lots of things in management. But then you have what I believe is the most important role of a teacher, and that is to be an education, or of an administrator, to be an educational leader. It is their job to evaluate teachers, to make sure teachers have what they need, to encourage teachers to grow, to watch your school data, to look at where we are strong and where we are weak, to measure teachers, to evaluate teachers, to get in teachers' classrooms and support them, to watch that teacher that's struggling with a little bit of classroom management and make them better. To me, that is the most critical role. So, what's happening and why isn't that happening and what's the solution? I'll tell you why it's not happening. If a principal doesn't appropriately lead or manage a building, they will end up on the news tonight. Some parent will call somebody somewhere and they will say, oh my gosh, my kid's bus didn't show up today. And the news will run with it as a top news story. If a principal didn't make it into a teacher's classroom, now that teacher feels that's the last straw, I'm unsupported, and they leave, nobody cares. But this one is impacting your child's learning way more than this one. We can get another bus. In just a minute, hold on. Hold on, it's just about getting a driver over here and getting another bus. But that educator I lost is gone. They're gone. I lost track how many times as an administrator, as a principal, that I was grabbing my clipboard and heading out of my office to go get in teachers' classrooms. Many of them that had asked me to come to support them. While that mad parent walked into my office and pretty much demanded that I was going to see them. And I know what some of you are going to say watching this video is, well, tell her tough. There is no telling her tough. Because she's going to walk right across that parking lot to my superintendent, who's going to call me, or worse yet, she'll just call the local news station. And the local news station is looking for a top news story to report. So, I remember driving home thinking so many times, as I dealt with that parent now, what I thought could be a 15-minute conversation and turned into a 4-hour dissertation in the afternoon, how many teachers never got support today? And what really frustrated me was, anybody ever not felt well? You ever not felt well and thought, man, I'd love to see my doctor right now. That would be so great. You would no more show up to your doctor's office and demand that they see you right now. But yet we walk into a principal or a superintendent's office and demand that they see us right now. So what's the solution? Here's the solution, and it's pretty simple. We have got to start to respect that building principal has more to deal with than just you. If it's a safety issue, that's different. If you have knowledge of a gun in a building or drugs being sold, that's different. I would never disrespect a safety issue. But you as a parent want to come in because Susie said something mean last night on Facebook to your daughter, send me an email. And I know some of you are going to watch this video and said, who does that? Oh, every administrator wants to look at you and go, oh. I used to have friends of mine say, you work all summer? Well, what do you do all summer long? There's no kids. And I would almost laugh. All the things that I can't get done all school year because no parents are constantly coming in. I also want to say this before I close out this video. I am not saying that we as administrators don't welcome, value, and want parent input and parents in our building. Never said that. And any misinterpretation that you're taking of that is your view, not mine. What we're saying is respect our time. Respect our time. Respect that not only do we have a building to manage, which I know is important, but don't you want the best teachers in your building? And we know how to make them better. But you've got to respect us. You've got to respect the time that we have to spend in classrooms to do that. So that means that sometimes when you show up to your building, We're not in our office. But I promise you there is no lounge where I have the soap opera on and candy that I'm eating. I promise you that's not happening. And you have to begin to trust that. You have to begin to trust that. I've had so many of my friends say, I showed up to the principal's office today, and they will say to me, do you believe he never even took the time to meet with me? And you know what I say to my friends? What makes you think you're that important? And they'll say, my daughter's there, and I'll say, so are hundreds of others. So are hundreds of others. And if you don't trust the administrator to be out in that building, do what they need to be doing, then move your child. Because I don't expect any administrator, and I raised 3 kids, sent them K through 12, to be at my beck and call. I do expect them to return my phone call. I do expect them to return my email in a timely manner. And I do expect that if I request a meeting, that they meet with me in a timely manner. But never with 3 children, K through 12, did I show up at a building and demand that someone see me right now. And I had some issues. We had a couple of issues. 3 kids, things came up. You know why? Because I respected they had a building to run. Just like most of you watching this video have a job to do, we have a job to do too. Respect it. That's the solution. Respect it. Request meetings. Don't demand it. And it wouldn't be so difficult on administrators. As always, thank you. That's the quick short solution I have for that. Don't forget to share, to like, to subscribe, hit that little bell, follow, do all the things you're supposed to do with these videos. And thank you for watching. Thank you for being willing to be part of the journey, because as we talk about things, we start to solve things. As always, have a fantastic day.